Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Cinematic Trinity, where we talk movies, games and TV shows. And we're all back this week to talk... Yeah! So we're going to talk...
back together.
I know, speaking of team-ups, we're here to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. So let's get into it.
What a smooth transition, babe.
I know. So yes, the MCU is back with another instalment in Deadpool and Wolverine, the sort of long-awaited team-up. So now Deadpool is inside the cinematic universe of Marvel. He's not in Fox's Marvel universe, whatever they were doing. So now he's well and truly a part of this wider Disney-run thing. So I guess brief thoughts first. Positive, negative? What do we all think about it?
It sits in the category of being a film that I can enjoy watching, but you know, it's that kind of film. You watch it, you enjoy it, you don't really think too much about it afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
That's for me.
I know what you mean. And to be fair, I kind of thought that about the first Deadpool, but then we actually watched it again on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yeah. We actually watched it again, and I was like, actually, that is a really, really good film. Like, it's got a really good core to it. So I kind of want to watch this film, Deadpool and Wolverine, again, because I did really enjoy it, watching it, and I feel like it's a really good cinema experience.
Yes.
So I really enjoyed seeing it at the cinema. So if you get a chance to see it at the cinema, then I definitely would. Not because of things like sound design, visual effects, stuff like that, but just because it's like funny. When you're paying attention to it more, you notice like the funny bits and the things that you're supposed to notice, where if you're kind of watching it at home and you're not really paying attention as much,
right.
like you'll miss like the little jokes and little quick remarks and stuff like that. And it's just nice. It was a really like busy cinema when we were there, which was so lovely to see, and everybody was kind of laughing and along with it, so that it heightens your enjoyment when other people are laughing, because you can kind of be like, oh yeah, that is funny, it gives you like the confidence to laugh.
It was an event film, wasn't it? Like the same as like Spider-Man No Way Home. It's like you're in the cinema and everyone's like, gasping at the right bits or laughing at the right bits. So it feels like a good sense of, it's like because me and Kieran saw the first Deadpool in like cinema, like that was very much like people were laughing, like it was a good time. It was a good time watching it, and this is for like a cinema experience. It's a good time.
Definitely.
I'd probably say like on a rewatch, if you've seen it in the cinema and then you go watch it home afterwards, probably doesn't hit the same as like No Way Home, because there is like cameos and stuff. So in the cinema at the time, you're like, oh my god, it's this person. But when you're at home, it's like, okay, cool. That's it's this scene. So you don't feel it as much, kind of thing. Which but still a good time. I feel like seeing these characters again, like Deadpool, like Ryan Reynolds, is always good. Like he's consistent in every film he's in, and that hasn't been like dampened by Disney taking it on. Like they do take shots at Disney Marvel, which is like they're funny, like those jokes.
Yeah, definitely.
But they don't dumb them down. They don't make it like a 12 rated movie as a 15, so there is still room for like swearing, violence, everything that Deadpool's been doing by this point. And then Hugh Jackman, he's back again as Wolverine. And still very good. Like he still gives it, his all. Like he's not phoning it in.
He's brilliant in it.
And
I'm not just saying that because of him, but he is honestly brilliant in it. I really, really enjoy, because I've not actually seen him as Wolverine. I've never watched an X-Men film. I've literally
you've seen Logan, haven't you?
I've seen Logan is the only thing, but that's not really him being Wolverine, I guess.
It's such a shame that you've missed out on X-Men Origins Wolverine.
No.
Why is that actually good?
It's the best film I've ever watched in my life.
We just have to wait and see. You
have to watch it yourself. X-Men Origins Wolverine is a go and watch it film.
Oh god.
Oh, Kieran, get the scale up. X-Men Origins Wolverine, go watch it. But
I'll mysteriously not be here that day.
But he's good. Like,
he's really good in it though.
Yeah, he's not oh, here's my paycheck, I'll come back and do Wolverine again. Like he still does the character.
I feel like when there's films where it's like friends making films, like all the films that are like Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller and that kind of like crew of people that were making comedy. You can tell that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and all the people that he's like, all the cameos that he's got in it, you can tell that they're just having fun, like they're just having a blast, and that really like comes across on the camera. And I love when you can just like feel that chemistry.
That's good. Yeah, exactly that.
Together.
Exactly that. It's good chemistry between the two of them, because like
definitely.
Yeah, Deadpool's like the one cracking jokes, and then like Wolverine is the straight guy. Like he will just tell him to shut up like from time to time. But yeah, still very good like performance wise.
Absolutely.
Funny. There's some like good fight scenes as well. Probably like especially watching the first Deadpool, I feel like I liked the fight scenes in those earlier movies more than like this kind of stuff. Like sometimes it didn't just like hit the same. It wasn't very visceral or anything like that watching it, but some stuff was well directed, or they do some interesting stuff like that, like the opening fight scene. Like the opening fight they have, like when it's the intro credits and stuff like that's interesting. But yeah, I feel like, again, like in just sort of brief thoughts, I feel like quite a lot of stuff works well here. It isn't just like, they haven't messed up the Deadpool like license or anything.
No, I think if you do really like the other two Deadpool films and you like the humour, more importantly, because that's probably the biggest part of the film is the humour that goes along with it and the writing. So if you enjoy those, it is more of the same, isn't it? It's not like totally different, or they've not ruined it, or anything like that. I mean, do you, Kieran, even care about like the other Deadpool films? Because I feel like it's not something that we ever talk. Not that we, talk at length about.
It's one of those things I don't really have much of an opinion on. I think that like the first Deadpool film did really well because it was something new. Like Ryan Reynolds finally got to bring back this character, and he is like the best fit for that character. Like, I wouldn't imagine anyone else in that Deadpool role. The films are good. There's bits that I like in both films, like like in Deadpool 2, the really stupid cameo of Brad Pitt being the Invisible Man, and it's just there for a frame, and I just find that immensely funny. And just like things like that. So it has like those films they cater for a lot of different people because different people find different bits funny. This one is just more of the same. So if you're looking for something new, you're not necessarily going to get it, but if you're liking the stuff that's come before, then it's gold mine for you, really.
Absolutely. It still feels like fresh in its own right, though. It wasn't just like, oh god, here we go again with cracking the jokes and it still felt like it was still funny. It wasn't like old and boring or tired. I think because it was so like, I mean, I can't really remember much of the second Deadpool, but I feel like it's a lot more fourth wall breaking than the other two, but I can't 100% remember. Definitely more than the first one.
This one.
Just in terms of literal breaking the fourth wall of looking the camera and just the jokes, like jokes about how the film was made and other films that they've made. Like there was a lot of that in this. So I think if you are, a fan of X-Men and the Marvel universe as it is, then you probably will get a lot of enjoyment just from like the little quips and little remarks and stuff like that. Like it all makes it, we can all laugh at things like that, can't we?
I really liked in this film there is like a passing of the torch from like Fox, Marvel to obviously it being taken over by Disney now. Like, there's a good bit of respect to those older films, like especially like the end credits and stuff has like a montage of the Fox movies, like the X-Men films and like Blade and like all the stuff they've made basically, and almost as like a thank you to Fox, because they did Kickstarter, like it was in the early 2000s, like before there was like an MCU, they did it with the X-Men movies, and that's pretty much what like brought superhero films back into the limelight and like what they are now is thanks to those movies. So it's a good like sign of respect to them, because like the whole thing is interesting about Fox being bought out by Disney, and just before then it was like who had what licenses to what superheroes. I mean, you still get that now with like Spider-Man being owned by Sony, and I think Hulk's still owned a bit by Universal, so it's all like stuff like that. Like there's still politics in it, but it's interesting seeing that it's not just like, all right, the Fox stuff doesn't matter. It still does, and they can't deny that, and they still respect that. So I really like that this film acknowledges that aspect of it. So
I do feel like you have to have or I certainly have like a massive respect for Ryan Reynolds and the fact that this is his baby, I think, isn't it? It's like The Rock, he was like, oh, he wanted to be Black Adam for so many years and he finally got it going and it was rubbish. Like, Ryan Reynolds has actually managed to, like, pull off this, like, passion project, I think. And clearly it's, like, made him a lot of money in the sense that, you know, in the first film they joke a lot about the budget and, oh, we don't have the budget for that. And then in this film, they've got everybody in it, and all the but it's all because he knows loads of people. It's just all people he knows. So it is... it's funny, and I do like Ryan Reynolds, and he is perfect as Deadpool. I mean, he's just like that in real life, isn't he? Or maybe not in real life, but his like persona as a celebrity is very much like that anyway. So it kind of goes hand in hand. But yeah, I got a lot of enjoyment out of this film. There's some stuff that I've seen online about the plot and blah 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 blah. But I don't care. Like I got enough enjoyment out of it that anything that is kind of negative about it I can forgive because I got so much enjoyment out of it. So I'm happy to just be happy with the fact that I enjoyed it. You know, it wasn't boring, it wasn't stupid. Like, you know how I feel about stupidness. Even though you two don't know I know what that means, but you always get confused.
There's no
shut up. That's something else. That's not stupidness. Scatting is its own thing that I hate, but I don't like stupidness. But this is just the right amount of like silly, you know, like
well, you were laughing, weren't you?
Yeah,
it was keeping you entertained.
Yeah, I had a good chuckle. Ryan Reynolds is brilliant. Hugh Jackman's fabulous. I love him. And yeah.
Would you say?
Need I say more?
Yeah. Would you say the MCU is back? Because that's like a lot of people.
No, because this isn't the MCU. In my eyes, this. I don't know how you feel, Kieran. This isn't the MCU to me. It's just not.
It is now a part of the MCU, but it's kind of. I don't know. I don't really care about the MCU anymore. Yeah. It's gone past the point. Its shelf life was done with Endgame. Yeah. They should have, like... Obviously, they're not going to end it there because it's making them so much money. But that should have been the point where they should have gone, right, we'll stop there. We'll take it away from being an overarching universe and everything like that. Yeah. And we'll just focus on soul stories. That would have been better. But they keep leading it back into more things. They want to do another Endgame with these Secret Wars. That's why they brought Robert Downey Jr. back. Because it's like, Iron Man's back. And
I think wheeling out Robert Downey Jr. is like the same joke as when they wheeled out David Tennant to come back for the Christmas special. It's like, Doctor Who's failing. Option. Let's wheel out David Tennant. It's like there's all the memes about David Tennant being wheeled out when he's like 90, you know, and to save Doctor Who again.
What's the joke? So I think it's the same. Hugh Jackman. They say the exact same thing about Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine.
Yeah, they'll keep bringing him back. But I think that's what it is with Robert Downey Jr.
That is like a whole. I mean, this is the most current topic we've ever spoken about. Is because it literally happened over the weekend. Is him being brought back as Doctor Doom? He's not playing Iron Man.
I thought he was playing an alternate version of Iron Man.
I think that's like
that's now become Doctor Doom.
I think that's like the theories. Like people like not coping for like why they brought him back, but it's kind of like, well, technically, like in the comics, like this does happen. Which I mean, I don't know. Yeah. But there is obviously a lot of sentiment being like, well, they're just clutching at straws now. Like they don't know what to do. So it's like, Robert Downey Jr.
They were supposed to be doing that whole Kang thing, weren't they? But they can't do that.
Majors?
Because of the actor getting into trouble.
Yeah, so like ridiculous. I think this is also like the problem with like cinematic universes and like planning your stuff like 5-10 years in advance, because like crap like this can happen and it just completely disrupts it. So yeah, it was meant to be the whole Kang dynasty, it was meant to be like the final set of Avengers movies, but now it's like, oh no, now it's Avengers, bless you.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, bless you.
Bless you.
Now it's Avengers.
I feel like I've never seen you sneeze before.
And now the internet
sneezer.
Now the internet has too.
Goodness me.
Save that for later. I don't know what you do with it, but
clip that.
Save my sneezes for, I don't know, make it your alarm. Just that in the morning.
We wouldn't be able to hear it. That was the silentest or quietest sneeze ever. I do a really loud
make it your alarm
sneeze.
If you don't want to wake up.
Bass boost it.
Is that what you use as your alarm, Kieran? Because you're incapable of waking up.
May as well be. It might as well be. Honestly, I've always said I need one of those Wallace and Gromit machines to wake me up in the morning, where it just like throws me out of bed, and then I just plonk down in front of my food in the morning. I'll be like, well, eat up. That would suit me quite well. It's never going to happen. Don't have enough money. But
no. Well, you never know. It might be more easily accessible in 2050 or something like that.
Let's hope.
Well, where did Wallace get the money? That's the question.
That is a good question.
It's all like tinkering. You know,
Yeah.
you just got
Or
to
maybe
tinker.
Can the bank give him a loan? I don't know why. We've gone down a massive rabbit hole here, but like, this is the questions that no one...
Can't
Everyone's
see the way
afraid to
rabbit
ask.
hole.
Where did Wallace get the money from? Did he go to the bank and like they give him like a loan to build these contraptions? I think to be fair, I remember where I saw a thing because it's like Wallace he like invents stuff and then he set up a bakery and then he set up a window cleaning service and then he did anti-pesto. It's just like how many business ventures is like Wallace had like...
He's an entrepreneur. He's just... He develops a business and then he sells it on for a profit and then he goes on to something new. It's, you know, and he's humble, you know, he's living in that same house as a terrace house.
I think, you know, he's kind of like an Iron Man himself, really. You know, all his inventions.
Humble Iron Man.
A humble Iron Man.
It's the cheese.
We tied it. We brought it back. We brought it back to the point about Robert Downey. Oh god.
There we go. Wallace for Secret Wars.
Wallace for Doctor Doom, please. Make him a plasticine villain for the final.
I would love to see that. I'd love to see like a Wallace and Gromit like proper action sequence. That'd be great.
In the style of Deadpool and Wolverine, it's just Wallace and Gromit. On that note, before we get into the spoilers, because we'll touch upon some bits of the story, rating scale, come up under us.
Come up under us.
Come up under.
All rise thee.
Where are you guys putting this on our review scale?
Is there something between Go Watch It and Masterpiece?
No, it is just...
Damn.
I can't extend it any further, my...
Well, I'd say go and watch it then.
Yeah, go watch it.
Yeah.
So is it...
Because it's not Masterpiece.
Is it... It's alright, go and watch it, Masterpiece?
Yeah.
Alright, go and watch it.
Yeah.
I think we're all on the same page. All go watch it.
Yeah, it's not a masterpiece, but
No.
I'd say it's really good. I really enjoyed it. That's like
entertainment
go and
value.
watch it. Yeah,
for like a
very
cinema
high
watch.
entertainment value.
Yeah.
And do you know what? If there was loads of people going to the cinema to see it, then power to it. You know.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it.
Exactly.
Love to see it.
Let's get into the spoilers.
Spoilers ahead.
So yeah, the basic plot of the movie is basically Deadpool. At the end of the last movie, he got like a time travel like multiverse device, so he was jumping between realities, and then he got the attention of the TVA basically. So he's destroyed his device. The main kind of thing is like his universe, like his Fox universe, is going to be deleted basically because in his universe, Wolverine is dead and he's like an anchor character. So basically, because this guy's dead, the universe has like no value and will just expire. The main villain wants to just completely, to speed things up, wants to get rid of it now. And that's like, the villain is one of the guys in the TVA who from Loki is the like time multiverse, like police.
Oh, is
basically.
he in Loki, is he?
Well, the organisation is not that
right.
character.
Yeah.
Paradox, I think his name was.
Yeah. So it's basically him trying to find a Wolverine to put into his universe to then save it. So that's how the two come to meet, which gives us a scene of some cameos, which is essentially majority is just different comic like variations of Wolverine. So you get like the short, like comic accurate size Wolverine.
That's hilarious.
The one of like him on like the X-Men cross, which like looked cool.
Yeah.
Like
Crime boss.
Yeah, with like the
I bet they
eyelash.
had so much fun, like getting like all like dressed up in all the different
Yeah, I
things,
bet, yeah.
just for like a quick little
I
scene.
would have liked it more. I mean, there is a cameo which does lean into this, but I would have liked it more if it was just different people playing Wolverine, because there's been like fan casts like Tom Hardy, Daniel Radcliffe. Like if again. You would have put the budget probably through maybe not for Daniel Radcliffe, but like Tom Hardy. Not saying like Daniel Radcliffe's cheap or anything, but like you might have like put the budget
Do
out there.
anything
It's
for
like
a quick dollar.
Yeah.
anything. For
I
that
feel like
cash.
Daniel Radcliffe would do that for free. Like, he's the kind of person that'd be like, oh, that's just cool.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna just do it anyway. Yeah.
But they could have done like that, like did different variations, but they're played by different characters because it leads to Henry Cavill.
The first cameo.
Yeah, with Henry Cavill as Wolverine.
Lord of mercy.
Yeah, which is cool because like that's been a fan cast for ages, and like at least you get to see it. There's a little
Yeah, he looks great as Wolverine, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because he's there on the bike and he's revving the bike. You see his arm. It's all very nice.
He's absolutely stacked. He's huge.
Yeah.
He must be preparing for something else with like.
I don't. What's the thing that he's doing at the moment? What is he preparing? I don't know.
He's
what
preparing for fatherhood because he's having a baby, isn't
Oh,
he?
of course he is.
Yeah.
Gotta be
How
strong for that.
lovely.
Yeah.
Enola Holmes season 3 maybe.
God.
So yeah, he's in it. That's what, that is the first big cameo.
Yeah, first of many.
So he joins up with Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman. The two kind of join forces because like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine's like backstory in this is that he like essentially betrayed the X-Men and like they got killed by like people who hate mutants. So that's like his weight to carry is that he let this happen.
So he's like depressed Wolverine,
yeah,
isn't he?
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Logan was pretty depressed. Wolverine as well.
All of them seem pretty depressed.
Yeah,
I don't think
they're in a little way.
I don't think any of them
The
have.
extra depressed, like alcoholic Wolverine.
Not angry.
Yeah.
All the others were like attacking him, weren't they?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That was kind of like the running thing.
Yeah, so the like TVA banished them to like the Void, which is like this little like sort of rubbish dump of like the multiverse. Like they'll get sent there like all these variants and stuff, which then leads to the other big cameo, which was Chris Evans.
Woohoo! And I honestly thought that they were just going to say he's Captain America. But I was so excited when it was the cameo for, what's he called?
Johnny
Mr.
Storm.
Torch?
Johnny Storm.
Human Torch.
Human Torch.
Johnny
Yeah.
Storch? I was going to
Storch?
say.
Johnny Starch.
Human Torch. Because I loved that film growing up. I
Fantastic
loved that
Four,
Fantastic Four film. So I was like, it's great to see some respect
Yeah.
on the Human Torch. Because I really, that's how I know like Chris Evans, like originally.
Yeah.
Like, I think,
He's-
brilliant.
Yeah, again, one of his like bigger, not biggest role,
Is that his
but like again,
breakthrough?
like no, I mean he's probably like
It's the first thing I've seen him in.
yeah, he's kind of just like probably in the stratosphere, I guess, and then like Captain America probably was his biggest role.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So he's in it like very, very briefly. Like they do talk to him, and then he gets killed like in a very gory way. Like his skin just gets plucked off his body by the big bad, like the other big bad in this movie, who's Cassandra Nova, who's like Charles Xavier's.
Cassandra Nova.
Yeah,
Not
who-
like 2 words.
No, yeah.
Not Cassandra Nova.
Yeah, that's
Cassandra
the name.
Nova, isn't it?
No,
it's
Cassandra.
Cassandra's
Nova.
her first name. Nova's her last
Well,
name.
they keep saying Cassandra Nova.
That's-
As in it's one, like it's
I
one
think that's
word.
just how they're saying it.
Yeah. But
Need to get on that.
sorry, pronunciation police.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's just like, it's like when you say, I'm literally not going to say this again, but it's like when you say Gardener's World instead of Gardener's World.
Is
just
it,
very
is
different,
it not
isn't it?
just like saying
That's that-
Ryan Reynolds rather than Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman? Hugh
No.
Jackman.
Oh, we're getting on to
No, all right. It's getting technical now. So she's the
I thought it was one word, but
Yeah.
apparently it's not.
No, it's not.
So there you go.
So yeah, she's the big bad. She's Charles Xavier's like Professor X's like evil twin.
Sister.
Twin sister. So she's got like these psychic powers like him, so she can read minds, influence like telekinesis, stuff like that.
Hers are more invasive than his, though, I think.
Yeah, because she has to like probably like
it's
she
this
got
creepy thing where she like just because she says, "Oh, I have to like touch your brain
to
to
read
like
your
to
thoughts.
read your
yeah.
mind," and there's like a really weird. I mean, the CGI is like not great because you could like the fingers that coming out of the face don't look fantastic,
I feel it's
but
more
like
that-
it's pretty.
Yeah.
That when it like she moves her face like under the skin,
Yeah.
and that looks like really good, and that's
Yeah. So like she kills Johnny Storm. She's basically like the queen of this like void place. Basically, like she's the most dangerous being. They chucked her in there since like birth, basically. So kind of like propels Wolverine and Deadpool to try and get out of there to get back to Deadpool's universe to basically save it. So they escape from Cassandra and then they go to more cameos galore. So they meet who do they meet, Kieran?
Do you want me to list them all?
They
Yeah,
might as
go
well,
for
yeah.
it.
You've got Juggernaut, you've got Toad,
Oh,
you've got
Toad, yeah.
Pyro.
Pyro.
I'm pretty sure you've got the the blob one. From
Yeah, it's not the same guy
Origins.
from War.
No,
War.
but I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure that guy's in there.
Yeah,
I think there's probably some other ones.
I saw
in
the in X-Men 2 the like Wolverine that he fights with like the,
Oh,
with
yes,
the long
yeah.
fingernail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's-
she's in it.
Nightcrawler's dad, the one that looks like the demon.
Red guy. Yeah.
So that's like her crew,
Yeah.
and then you meet like some of the people that they say like the outliers or like the resistance.
Yeah,
almost,
basically, yeah.
to Cassandra's thing, and that's I think it's Daphne Keane, isn't it?
Yeah.
X-23, Blade, Elektra, and Channing Tatum as what's his name?
Gambit.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like we found out more. I don't know if you already knew, but like found out more afterwards about that character and like the fact that he was like guaranteed to have a film, and then like it never happened.
Well, you would spin it to me, so I would never have known unless you would spin it to me.
That was cool. Yeah, it's like a cancelled project. Like, he was going to be Gambit for like a while, and then they canned it. So he's now managed to live that moment in this movie, and he was good.
Yeah. And I love stuff like that. Yeah.
It makes like a lot of the stuff that he was saying in the film a lot funnier for me as well.
Yeah.
Because like at the time I was just like, where he's saying like, oh, I feel like I've been here my whole life, like ever since I was a baby, like I've been here. And it's like, oh, okay, that's actually really funny because he was guaranteed a film, but it never happened. And then like obviously all the little jabs and stuff, like Ryan Reynolds saying like about like his dialect coach and stuff, because the accent was all over the place.
It's so funny. He is good, and like the costume and like his powers and stuff looked really cool. So like that was a good surprising one. It's like, oh my god, here it is realised in like live action form. And then like I never watched like Elektra. I can't really say I even watched like the Blade movies. I knew about like Blade, so that was alright. And then obviously X-23 from Logan, who's the kid that like Hugh Jackman saves in that movie. Was cool. I don't think they did a lot with her.
No.
Like,
I think they kind of wasted having her as a cameo a little bit.
I kind of thought it was maybe worse that it was, like, if it is, that it was her from Logan, because like she wears the same glasses and like references the story of that. So I was like, oh, if that's like, because like, I mean, kind of how it ends again is like on a good note here, but like it's kind of like, this is weird that it's this particular character, this variation of her felt a bit strange. I
don't know what else they would have done though. I mean, there was so much going on. They have to stop at some point, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would have just been finding another cameo, really, like rather than her, I guess. But
get like a Jean Grey or something. In
yeah. I mean, they're not going to bring like Patrick Stewart and McKellen back, because I mean they do reference like, oh, where's Magneto? Oh, he's dead. And Ryan Reynolds was like, oh god, like that's good.
Or was he saying that like to the Ian McKellen one, or is he saying it to the Fassbender one?
I don't know. He's basically like, oh, to defeat Cassandra, we need like a helmet that can stop psychic thoughts. We'll get Magneto's helmet, and they're like, oh, yeah, Magneto's dead. And it's like, oh, we'll get his helmet then. That was destroyed when he was killed. She was like, oh god. So they like team up to go back. Basically, they go back to like fight Cassandra, so they can get a portal out of the void. So they have like a fight sequence. I feel like that's probably again with X-23, they didn't really focus on like her fighting. They did like Gambit, had some cool stuff. Didn't really see much of like Elektra or Blade. Like they kind of like,
They might not have wanted to do any of the like choreography.
I mean, Wesley Snipes is pretty like,
he likes getting stuck in.
Wesley Snipes was like a big action movie star.
I mean,
like,
he is old now.
So he's kind of in the same vein as like Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like he was of that era,
right? I see.
Kind of thing. But
I don't really know a lot about it.
Yeah, so they don't really do much, but obviously it's more focused on Deadpool and Wolverine trying to get out. So you get a good scene where like Wolverine, like his brain gets like examined by Cassandra, and like she sees like his turmoil and like his guilt and stuff, which is pretty like, again, nice performance from Hugh Jackman there. They get out of there with like a sling ring from Doctor Strange, again like a good reference kind of thing. They get back to Deadpool's dimension, and that's when this is like the one bit of the plot I thought was a bit shaky, because like to get out, they like use Cassandra, like they put Juggernaut's helmet on her because that blocks her like powers. She gets shot by Pyro, so she's like dying, and then they're like, oh, we need to save her, oh no, she'll kill us all, kind of thing. So then they do save her, and then she's kind of like, oh, thanks guys, you saved me, you can go now. And then they leave, and then she's like, oh wait, no, I'm actually still gonna like get out of here and destroy the world, kind of thing. Like that felt, and I'm like still gonna try and kill you guys. So it just felt a bit she flip
flopped. I didn't really feel like she was flip flopping. I think it's just that's what evil people do, isn't it? I'm gonna let you get away, but not really. You know,
like she was like, before the moment where like they took the helmet off, she was like, I'm going to kill you the second you take this helmet off. And then she kind of like, she changes her mind a little bit, but she's still a mentally unhinged character. And like she said, like, you got like 5 seconds until that portal closes, so they run for it and like get out of there. She then questioned Pyro, and like he says, "Oh, they're making this device to like destroy this universe," but yeah, I don't know. She kind of doesn't like to be controlled, so she wants to take revenge on this paradox person by destroying everything, and then like she's like it's only her, like she's the one that rules everything.
Void,
So I understand her motivations for a kind of one-note villain kind of thing. Like there's not any kind of turmoil or anything or any kind of ethical. There's nothing there. She's just evil because she's evil.
Which I mean that's probably maybe
you can live with that sometimes, can't you? Because there is so much else going on in this. Like if it was like a serious film, then maybe you'd be like, okay, it's a bit stupid, or this isn't enough. But because it's like not a very serious film, you can kind of just like, and you can take all of that like as it comes, but still like get enjoyment out of it. I think.
I think probably. I don't know whether it didn't feel like very original or just a bit run-of-the-mill superhero movie, like especially like the climax thing, because it is like she goes back into Deadpool's world, like the machine's there, she hooks herself up to the machine, and it's like, right, she's now going to destroy every universe kind of thing, but it's literally just composed of her like having her arms out, and then it's just stuff happens around her, so it's kind of like, oh, don't let the timer hit 0 or else we're all like screwed kind of thing, but it's kind of like she's not doing anything really, like she stood there. It's not like she's like, oh no, they're trying to destroy the machine.
Let's like give it some credit. She's not just stood there like she's
basically like that.
There's CGI stuff happening around. She's probably stood there when they're filming it, but I didn't think, oh gosh, she's not really doing anything, is she? All she's doing is sat at the computer, you know. Like
I think
she's clearly connected to it in some way.
Yeah,
I think you're being a bit critical of it, though.
Well, I can't. Well, especially because they try and turn it off, though. She doesn't do anything like when they are. She's just kind of still stood there, like, oh my god, they're turning the machine off.
Yeah, but she's connected to it, isn't she?
Yeah, but she's got like telepathic powers. Like she could just like.
I know, but that's the whole thing. It rips through everything, doesn't it?
I don't know.
I think that you're reading too much into it. If this was like the Batman and this was all happening, then I'd be like, yeah, you're absolutely right. But because I feel like I'm just happy to like let all of that. Like I just don't care because I enjoyed it.
I think it was a bit generic and a bit nothing for a climax, but it was still fine.
Yeah. It wasn't like offensive.
Well, no.
The rest of the film was kind of different enough from the rest of the superhero tropes that I'm kind of like. I'll let that one slide. Like, it wasn't a fulfilling ending for me.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
You get the bit before, like, because, it's set up, and then she basically summons, like, the other Deadpool variants, and then that's when Hugh Jackman Wolverine and Deadpool fight the variants, basically. So, I mean, you get a cool, like, one-shot thing of them, like, fighting them on a bus and stuff like that. That looks cool. There's a few like weird shots about like CGI, like Hugh Jackman, because you do get a bit where he puts his like cowl on as well, which again like looks cool in like live action, but it was a bit like, again, it was CG in some places, so it looked a bit odd. Like, again, that's just the effects. It kind of looked a bit weird. And then they go to turn the machine off, but it's basically like, again, your classic, if you want to turn the machine off, you're going to die, basically.
Yeah.
You'll be disintegrated. So then Deadpool, goes to sacrifice himself kind of thing, and then they kind of come together, him and Wolverine, to then turn the machine off, like they hold hands, and then that's, they save the day, basically, and that's when
save the day.
You see shirtless Hugh Jackman.
Yes, you do.
That saved our day.
I enjoyed that very much.
He can't keep doing it to himself, I think. Like, he's getting a bit... Especially, like, because it's Hugh Jackman and you hear the stories about, like, he won't drink water for, like, 2 days. Or, like, when he was playing Jean Valjean and he lost a load of weight to be really skinny, but then he also wasn't drinking water. So his, like, voice was affected and stuff like that when he was singing. So it's just like, come on, Hugh.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He definitely goes to extreme lengths, but you've got to respect him for it. And he did look fantastic, so I can't really complain.
I just hope, if they bring him back, maybe just, don't give him such a strict workout routine. He'd be fine.
To be fair, you wonder how much of that was them telling him to do it, or how much it was he wanted to do it.
He just wants to. I bet that he just wants to do it. I bet he just loves it, because he's played that character for so long.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of who he is, in a lot of ways. So he probably just wants to do it justice, if this is the last time or a really key time that he's going to play the character.
He's 55, so he is like,
Power to him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, exactly. It's good. It's a good effort on his part there, but yeah.
Good effort.
Yeah.
Well done, you. Nice one.
Yeah. Not to say he's like geriatric or anything, but yeah, I just feel like, especially to get like a body like he had in this, you'd have to like really dedicate a lot of time and like really, again, just push yourself to get that kind of body for like this kind of film.
Yeah.
But yeah, they saved the day. So, you know, you get like the good, like, again, like the Madonna song was everywhere.
That song is, I've listened to that song about 5 times today.
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to it while I was working. I listened to it when I finished work here. I don't know why. I've literally never even cared about that song
It'll be
before.
like what's it called, like an earbug for like ages,
Yeah,
and then
it'll
it'll go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good scene where they hold hands and then they sort of combine the energy to then destroy the machine. And it's sort of left off with, you know, Deadpool's universe is fine. He is essentially still, like, his Fox universe is there. Like, he hasn't fully joined. It's not like the universe is merged and he's now in, like, the Avengers universe.
Yeah.
He is
well,
still
that was
separate.
kind of like at the very beginning. It was like, oh, we want how we kind of got into it is the TVA said we want you to go over to the, what did they call it? The
Sacred timeline.
Sacred timeline, which is basically just, you know, the Marvel.
The MCU.
MCU timeline, blah, 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 you know. We want you to go over there, you can live there, but this universe is going to die, but this is what you've always wanted, you can be an Avenger, blah, 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 because that's what he wanted as well. But I don't know, it almost felt like, to me, it might not be what they intended, but it was kind of like a nod for him to say, I'm still my own, like, entity, you know, I'm not, like, fully, I mean, he might do later, but he's not, like, that's why I don't think he's like fully in the MCU, even though he is part of the MCU and he's this like alternate, you know, with the multiverse stuff, like whatever. It's still, he could have very easily just gone, okay, yeah, I'll just be in the MCU and I'll be an Avenger and whatever, but I'll bring some light humour to it. It's very much, no, I'm still going to do my own thing. But that was my interpretation of it. That might not be what he thought.
It's probably just a commentary on just how, like, I guess realistically that would probably work. It's like, yeah, we can use the character of Deadpool, but it'd be like a reboot as such. Like, you wouldn't have,
it'd
like,
be a very watered down version of the character, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Like, there wouldn't be like Peter or like Vanessa or like any of his supporting cast as they are now. It would be new actors or something like that. So it is, you have to like kill the old to then give way to something new, kind of thing. But yeah, like, his universe is fine, so it is still intact. Wolverine now lives in this universe, like, he occupies it, and then like.
But doesn't he become the anchor being again?
Yeah, but because he saved the world, basically.
Logan dies, but so he saved the world, so he's the anchor being now.
Yeah, and then like X-23 like, they bring her back, so she is like now just hangs out with this version of Wolverine. So that's like a happy ending in a way. Like, these two characters got to, you know, have this family, which obviously at the end of Logan that got taken away from them. And that's kind of like where it's left, really. It's just like, I guess it's almost like Deadpool is here, so if we need to pluck him out of this universe.
Well, I think they've set something up anyway, haven't they? Because they mentioned that bit with Thor. Like, Thor's crying while Deadpool's in his arms. So I think when they do this big, massive Avengers crossover film, Deadpool will show up for a little bit. He probably won't be a main character.
No, it'd be like the TVA will like just grab him from like his universe.
There'll just be loads of people coming in from all over the places and different variants of characters. And
it's not going to be like, you know, like the new Captain America film is going to play and it'd be like, oh, like he's in the background kind of thing. It is kind of like, here he is, he's here at like our beck and call. When we need Deadpool, we'll take him out of his universe and he'll be there. It's not just like he'll be there in the background for like the future films being like, oh, I'm here, I'm in this world, I'm living with you guys. He is just sort of, he's there, but we know he's like, you know,
he's living his own life.
He might not have like his own next 5 movies scheduled, but you know, like Deadpool is just firmly, he's not going anywhere, kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of like, that is the plot.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So yeah, full of cameos, full of like fights and stuff like that. I think the fights between him and like Wolverine are pretty good. Like, we kind of glossed over that.
I really like the scene where they're in the car and they're kind of like fighting each other.
I
really like that.
I had the clip come up where it's like Wolverine does this big speech like, oh, if only you could just die. But wait, the biggest joke is like on us is that you can't die. And then like he just a massive pause and Deadpool's like, I'm going to fight you now. And then the fight like kickstarts in the car.
Yeah, I like that.
Controversial opinion, I didn't actually like many of the fights. I didn't like the way they were choreographed.
I thought the like final fight, I mean the final fight with like all the Deadpools, I felt nothing, basically. I didn't really feel like anything. But like, you know,
Yeah.
Especially like because I think the thing with Deadpool and Wolverine as well, like there's only so much they can do. Because I mean, the whole thing is that they can't die, so they could literally fight forever and ever, which like is well like shown in the car kind of thing, because there's the classic like day to night cycle thing, and they're still there in the morning. But then it's like again, not really much.
I didn't mind the car one, but all of the other fights that were there, I don't know, I just wasn't a big fan. I think it was just too generic. It just felt like nothing was happening.
I think
didn't feel like special, like, oh my god, this is such a great fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes you kind of get that feeling, don't you, when you're watching a fight scene of, god, this is great. And then there's others where it's like, oh, they're spinning around just for show.
But I mean, that's kind of the thing with like Marvel ones, is because there's so many different cuts and breaks and different
yeah.
Like it's not like a, you know, like in some martial arts films they like choreograph the whole scene and then they'll do it from like one or two different camera angles and they won't switch between them very much. So you can kind of see like the battle a lot better and like kind of the kind of skill that goes behind like choreographing the fight.
Yeah. And
I feel like that was lost a bit for me, but also I don't know, that wasn't necessarily the point of the film. So
yeah, sometimes I like a good like weighty kind of fight scene, like where it is like visceral. I mean, it's like in like Logan as well. Like, it's not that there's many like big fight scenes and stuff, but there is like, if you feel it, like when Logan fights X-24 and there's just like a bit where he's like endlessly like jabbing in with his like claws and stuff, and like the opening fight scene where he like sticks his claws through like that guy's mouth, and it's like the really brutal. That felt really good. But like, in this, there wasn't much like.
It wasn't visceral.
I think that you know, it is difficult when, as you say, both of the characters aren't really doing any damage to each other, so you don't feel like oh I felt that, you know, because you're just like, oh, I know that this doesn't hurt them, so you don't feel it in a way. So I don't know if that's why. Because
you I mean, like again, it's like the first Deadpool, like the fights in that felt like good as well, like what he does. Like, I mean, I like the bit
when he was fighting Ajax at the end, even because they like it felt like an actual fight. It didn't feel like it was just two people stabbing each other.
No, and then like you know, you get
there was higher stakes as well, wasn't there?
And you get good scenes like, you know, the bullet countdown bit. Like I kind of forgot about that scene, but when you watch it, it's really cool. Like when it's counted down from 12 to 1 bullet, it's like that's a really good action scene. But I think this kind of misses the mark in some bits, because I get what you mean. It's just some bits, just whether it was just choreography or just the look of it, just sometimes you just don't feel you know.
And that fight in the void as well, I feel like they wasted Blaze, and Elektra is literally just a normal human, so all she can do is to stab at people with her size. But I feel like they wasted Blade a little bit, and X-23 in that. Not Punisher. Gambit got some good bits, like where they could actually showcase what his powers could do. But then the other two, they just kind of didn't do a lot with it, and there wasn't like, it never felt like they were going to lose. Like there was 40, 50 like bad guys here and only 4 of them, and it never felt like there was a single point where they were struggling at all.
I know what you mean. I get you.
So I mean, that's like kind of my biggest gripe about the film, but it's like, it's a superhero film. It's more whimsical than others, so it's you know, not necessarily more grounded in the realism side of things.
Again, it's not like, it's like, you know, that bit.
I understand the irony of saying that for a superhero film.
Why can't it just be more real about this guy who can heal himself and the guy with the adamantium claws? I think I only got Logan. That felt pretty grounded. I mean, for what it was.
You could definitely do a grounded superhero.
It's like the Batman as well, like the fight scenes and that. Again, it's just whether that's like sound design, because you get the bit where he like pummels the guy's face like at the beginning of the film, like that's all good. So there is definitely like
I just want a balance.
You want to be. I feel like the main thing is for me is, you know, it kind of like, it doesn't always need to be brutal, but I feel like you need to feel like, oh, that like that kind of hurt, or like, oh, you could feel that kind of thing. But I kind of missed the mark a bit here. That was a good critique, I think. That, you know, that was a good little critique of the.
Self-praise is no praise.
That was Kieran's point.
Guess
so I'm
who
praising
says
him.
that phrase?
Mom.
Yes.
Oh no.
That's funny.
I feel like that's a good little review. I think overly positive, no real negatives with that. So again, it's a go watch your film. I honestly go see it in the cinema.
Especially in the cinema.
You
get a lot more enjoyment out of it if you see it in cinema.
Yeah, exactly. Go support your local cinemas as well, whether that be a Merlin cinema or even, you know, places like the View and stuff like that. They're still good.
They're still doing their thing, aren't they? You know.
Was it View that were doing the Deadpool head
Cups.
Popcorn.
Popcorn?
Popcorn. I was halfway between popcorn and pumpkin there.
It's AMC in America are doing like the weird shaped ones, but I think The View is doing like
They
just a
definitely do
Deadpool
cups.
head.
Right.
Thing.
And they do have a popcorn bucket, but it's not like a shape. It's just got
okay.
the Wolverine on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So TikTok of it earlier.
Yeah, I wish again.
To be fair, I would actually go to The View and get one of those little cups or something, but
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's like
It's
our local cinema. They do cups sometimes. So I remember I got like a Mario one, and they did like Star Wars ones and stuff. So they are like pretty
one,
cool.
Toy Story one. They do loads
they
for
do those.
Yeah.
different things. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
do
remember the Toy Story one.
But yeah, big studios, give the little cinemas some merch because drive a bit of sales up for you. Give our local cinema some Deadpool and popcorn buckets or whatever. Maybe do. I saw they did one for like the Alien film that's coming out next month. They've got like I think it's like a face hugger one or like a xenomorph head one that look really cool. But I'm not going to get it in this country.
No.
I feel like cinemas in the
That's
UK
such a
don't
shame.
do.
Like we don't get anything like that. Like,
I mean, USA is just bigger in everything they do, isn't it? They like to make a thing of something.
Yeah.
Whereas UK, I don't know, people are just a lot more passive.
don't care about
Yeah.
anything.
I feel like they just chuck them away. Like you
Yeah.
buy a food, you'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
popcorn bucket, and then at the end you just chuck it in the bin and be like, oh, that was good.
Yeah.
I ate my popcorn from it. I got my use out of it, but clearly not enough avid cinema collectors in this country.
Yeah.
Give them a chance, eh?
Yeah,
Give them a chance.
Marvel, give them a chance. Give them all the popcorn buckets, and then the money will come. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right, so let's wrap it up there then, guys.
Well, next week we're going to be talking about House of the Dragon Series 2.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, because there's only 2 episodes left, and I'm genuinely thinking, is this going to end
God,
well?
we're not going to watch one tonight, have we? We've not got time for that.
Who knows? You'll know next week though, because we'll be reviewing all of them. In our series 2 review. So join us for that one next week. But in the meantime, this has been this episode of the Cinematic Trinity. I've been Michael.
I've been Kieran.
And I've been to it.